Hello again, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much to all my Capricorn friends out there. I really do appreciate you guys sending in your comments and liking the videos. I love you guys. Now, this week, Capricorn, from Le Vampire, you pulled Reason. Listen to advice, think clearly, and intellect. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Abundance. Now, Reason from Le Vampire is saying that your mind is powerful right now, and it's being used for your soul's highest purpose. Working with this card is talking about sitting down calmly and clearing your mind and then beginning to work through the details of a dilemma. This could also suggest a person coming through that may be giving you some really good advice. And when you look at that with abundance, you're talking about the relationship that you have to money or the conversation that you're having with money, and then also dealing with any kind of legal document that's being signed that is involving your own financial security, because Reason from Le Vampire, when you look at it in detail, does talk about really needing to pay attention to any kind of legal documents that you're signing right now. Abundance. The inspiration here says, think about your relationship with money. Are you the wise girl or the foolhardy man? Money is naturally attracted toward appreciation and gratitude. The personal question says, be wary of using your financial situation as an excuse to avoid doing something. Are your thoughts and actions around money empowering you or disempowering you? The key ideas are abundance through gratitude, releasing regret, and being good with money. So I really do think, looking at the two of them, and I've seen this before, when you look at Reason with abundance, it is about legal documents that are being signed. You know, and for some of you, this could just be signing off papers on buying a home or getting a loan. Whatever the situation is here, I just think Reason is saying that, you know, not only do you need to think clearly, but you need to pay attention to the documents that you're signing. But abundance is beautiful. All right, Cap, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. Yeah, yep. The Two of Pentacles, you know, again, it's money, right? This could be about the money going in, the money coming out, especially if some of you guys are dealing with, you know, signing papers, dealing with loans, or anything having to do with money. Anything that's going to cost you money and anything that's going to bring you money. But looking at the Two of Pentacles as a signifier, you know, it's saying that, traditionally the card is saying that you have the ability to continue the balancing act. It's just that, where is there room for anything else? You know, you're trying to maintain the balance of daily life, going to work, kids, finances, whatever the situation is. You know, you may be balancing a couple of different things here right now. In the past, the Emperor. Nice. And you have control. You do. You have control over the things that are going on, especially with you financially. I just think, I kind of have a feeling that some of you maybe have a little bit more on your plate than what you would normally have, and now you're trying to figure out how to balance everything out. But the Emperor is the past coming through, is saying that you have control. You know, this is control and order out of chaos, and definitely that goes along with Capricorn beautifully. You know, for some of you, I don't know why, but you know, when you're talking about a person coming through and giving advice, for some of you, you know, the Emperor is the father figure, right? And this is somebody who's pretty strong and set in their ways, and it could definitely be somebody coming through. It could be Aries. But I really think that this is you having control, major control, over what you're balancing in your life. Look at that. And then you have Virgo, the Hermit. This is about soul searching. You know, the Hermit, I mean, it does talk about like stepping away from the world for a while, right? But you're really looking for answers that are inside, taking that spiritual journey. But, you know, I'm looking at the Emperor and the Hermit, and then seeing the Two of Pentacles. I feel like I need to say that for some of you, you know, you don't want to be stuck doing the same routine over and over again. You know, I mean, you have control over the situations. You're doing this juggling act. You know, you're looking for a spiritual connection with the Hermit. But, you know, I don't know. I just get the feeling that maybe some of you need to go out and need to have some fun too, instead of trying to maintain control all the time. Future conditions, the Ace of Swords. Beautiful. Beautiful. Truth and clarity. especially when you're looking at the Hermit as present conditions. If you're looking for some answers, you're definitely going to find them here. And this is new, fresh ideas too. Being clear on the choices that you need to make, especially when it comes to your finances. I think everything's great. I just, I look at the Two of Pentacles, and the immediate feeling for me is like, man, I want to be doing something else though too, right? And then seeing the Hermit, it's like, man, that's even worse. Like, get out of the house, go do something. And that definitely isn't the case for all of you, but I do think that a lot of you have clarity when it comes to what you need to maintain in your life, and you have control over it. I just think that for some of you, it's like you're looking for something a little bit more. And if that's the case here with the Hermit, I think you definitely find the answers that you're needing with the Ace of Swords. Your best path to follow, strength. Wow, look at the majors you're pulling here. Strength is your best path to follow is saying that, when you're dealing with situations, you need to use gentle force, right? Having the strength and the courage to face whatever it is that you're dealing with, but being able to control yourself. And that is exactly what you're doing, right? And, I think for some of you, if you're dealing with, some financial issues where you're trying to maintain things right now, I think strength is just telling you that you have the ability to go through this. You have the strength to get these things back in order. And for some of you that are getting truth and clarity, having strength to deal with it, with whatever truths are coming out here, In your environment, the Fool. Look at it, Cap. I'm telling you, Cap and the Fool. And this is you taking a leap of faith. I get the sense that there's like two different things going on with you. And that's what you're trying to balance here with the Two of Pentacles. You have the practical and the mundane. But then there's the spiritual. And you're getting clarity on both. Strength is saying that, yeah, you have guidance around you right now, and you have the strength to deal with both situations. The Fool is saying that you're taking a leap of faith into something new. And this is in your environment. And I think for some of you, you got some spiritual answers that you were looking for. And I think it's going to be changing your mind. The Fool, I love, because when you're looking out over this cliff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have no idea what's going to happen, but you're going for it anyway. And it's a beautiful energy. And it's the beginning. It is the beginning. Your hopes and your fears. Well, now. I do think that this is a person. I hate getting specific in readings, but I can't help it. Immediately, I feel like this is a person. Now, if you're internalizing it, we're going to start with that first. Then I'm going to get into what I'm hearing. If you're internalizing it, the King of Wands looking at that over the Fool is saying that there is wisdom and passion and new excitement in your life. You're charting a new course here for yourself. It's like you're going to come out of your spiritual journey and you're going to go and you're going to start following your passions. Where, you have this feeling of needing to juggle the day-to-day and everything else. You start looking at the spiritual and you get clarity there. And then you are pulling on this feeling of the King of Wands where there's wisdom, but there's passion and excitement and new adventures and, But I think this is a person and I think you are attracted to him. And it definitely explains why the Fool is sitting there. And I do think that this is a person, yeah, it could be a Leo, but I'm seeing this as the advice to you. Seeing this as the past coming through Aries, right? It could be Aries, Leo, or Sag, but I think this is a person. And I think they've stirred something in you. Oh, and the outcome, I'm telling you. Look at the majors. Jeez, Cap, your readings never fail. They never fail to amaze me. I swear to God. If I had wine, I'm telling you I'd be drinking it right now. The Empress as the outcome. Yes, this is a new beginning, a new loving beginning with a person. A person. You guys also have the father and the mother figure going on here too. But I'm looking at this and I'm seeing you having control over your life, control over all these things, blah, 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 doing the mundane. And then all of a sudden the spiritual starts to kick in. And then you're starting to get clarity and reason, right? Strength is saying that I think for some of you, if you're too focused on doing the everyday and having control over everything, it's saying that you have the strength to do both. Having control and following some excitement. Because I do think that's what some of you need. A little bit less of the everyday and a little bit of excitement. And I do think that that's a person. And with the Empress coming out, beautiful. It is beautiful. I mean, look at it, right? Being able to balance the two different parts of your life, but then seeing the Empress too, you know, it's giving birth to those new ideas, right? It's abundance and indulgence, and there's beauty and there's love. There's this nurturing feeling here, but I do think that this is a brand new beginning, and it might have to do with a person stirring some excitement in you. I don't know why, I just think that that's important for some of you. Now, for those of you who aren't resonating with this, you know, like I said, I hate to get specific, but I'm hearing person, happiness, new, right? And these are major events that are happening for you. But for those of you who are not resonating with this, the Empress is beautiful. You are giving birth to new ideas right now. You're able to not only maintain the everyday, but you're able to maintain the spiritual that's going on with you as well. And you're getting some clarity. And you're using that intellect in creating new excitement in your life, right? And you have abundance. It's beautiful, Cap. It's beautiful. All right, we're going to take a look at soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. But I'm telling you, for some of you, and you know, these are major events that are happening for you this week, and definitely a lot of you are going to be feeling that kind of rebirth. Speaking your truth is definitely going with the Ace of Swords. Seeing truth, speaking truth, and having clarity and energy is definitely going along with the King of Wands. There's new excitement there. And then with the Fool underneath that, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love it, Cap. It's beautiful. Your reading is beautiful. I do think that for some of you, you have somebody that's causing some excitement for you. But you're able to maintain the day-to-day and the spiritual. All right, Cap, we're going to take a look at the romance angels to see what is going on for you guys in terms of love. But I do love this reading. I think it's beautiful. And rebirth and the Fool. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Yeah, but, you know, we can't always be positive. That's the thing. You know, when you're learning about the law of attraction too, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, I just have to think positive all the time. It doesn't work that way. You know, when you have difficult feelings and difficult thoughts, it has its place too. But when you're needing to stay optimistic about your love life, and in times it can be difficult. But I think that it's important here for you to have faith that you do have an opportunity to make the most out of new people that are coming into your life. I think that when you look at positive thinking, I just think that there needs to be a shift in the way that you're thinking when it comes to romance. For those of you who are single and are not really meeting anybody or seeing anybody, but I think somebody's going to come in and they're going to stir you up. But definitely stay optimistic about it. Attraction. You attract a romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And yeah. And that definitely goes along with the Empress. If you're in a relationship and you're happy, if you're struggling with balancing all these different things in your life, you know, when you start enjoying the moments instead of worrying about what's going to happen next and after that, yeah, it is going to make you more attractive. And definitely enjoy the moments that you have with your partner. Very important, very important. But I do think that some of you are going to be coming across somebody that's going to be stirring you up. And I think for some of you, you're already in a relationship with an Aries. But I just think that the message for Cap is that you have the ability to balance both. You don't need to just place your focus in one thing. Okay, Cap. I love your readings. I love doing your readings, and I love it when the Fool starts to show up. I'm telling you, Cap and the Fool, it's hand in hand. But I think some of you right now are really focused on maintaining control between your physical world and your spiritual world. And I do have this feeling, looking at what's going on, that some of you do need a little bit of excitement. But I think you're getting clarity here on how to follow your passions. Now, for some of you, I do think that this is an Aries, and I do think that this person is going to come in and create some excitement, and they're going to stir you up a little bit here, especially with the Empress coming out. And seeing the Fool, yeah, yep. I love it. I think that this week is going to be great for you guys. I definitely think that you should be following your passions, because where it leads you is going to be beautiful, beautiful. I just think that, you know, seeing the Two of Pentacles, the mission this week is going to be finding the balance between dealing with the everyday humdrum and then dealing with your spiritual self, and finding some excitement and going after your passions. Strength is telling you you can do both, and you have clarity. And then the other thing is, too, looking at your soul trees, beautiful, you are going to go through a rebirth, absolutely, especially seeing the Empress. And then looking at energy and speak your truth, hell yeah. Especially if you're feeling like all you're doing is the everyday, you know. Every time I see that card, I'm like, you know, there's a heavy feeling there for me. It's not a bad card. It's saying that you're able to do both. But, you know, that's all you're doing, though. You know, I feel like some of you just need to have fun this week and start following your passions. As far as, you know, with the King of Wands, yeah, it can definitely be an Aries. I keep hearing Aries. And, of course, with the Emperor showing up. But I do think that this also has to do with you following your passions here with wisdom. And that's something that's important when it comes to Cap. You're not going to just go out and do something. It's like there needs to be planning first before you decide to do it. And I think instead of doing that, you need to just have some spontaneity and go and do things that excite you, because you have that wisdom. It's okay to do things that aren't exactly planned out. But overall, beautiful. It's a beautiful reading. I love it. And then when you're looking at reason and abundance, I really do think that a lot of you are using your intelligence when it comes to creating your own wealth. And I do think that you do carry that feeling of being grateful. And it's what's bringing more abundance to you. And reason is definitely going along with the Ace of Swords. Clarity. Clarity in the way that you're thinking. Now, as far as love goes, I have to go on a rant every time I see something that says, well, you got to stay positive. You got to think positive. It's not always that easy. And that is not how things work. It doesn't always work that way. You can't be going through a bad situation going, I got to think positive. It doesn't always work. Negative things have their place. We learn from these things. But you definitely want to stay optimistic when it comes to your love life, especially if you're not seeing anybody right now, because I do think somebody's coming in. I hate getting specific, but I'm telling you, there's somebody coming through that's going to stir you up, and it's going to bring some excitement to you. But stay optimistic for those of you who are single, because you do deserve to be in a meaningful relationship that is full of passion and excitement. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, when I look at attraction, I think of somebody who needs to remind themselves to enjoy the moment instead of worrying about the moment ending or what's going to happen next and after that and after that. We have a tendency to not remember to do that, and then when the moment passes, all we see is the negative and the fact that it ended, instead of remembering the beautiful things in the moment. So definitely enjoy the moments that you have, and attraction is beautiful to see, especially when you're in a relationship and you're happy. But you need to be happy as well, and stop focusing on things that you don't know are going to happen, or wondering what's going to happen, whatever it is. It's more important to enjoy the moments that you have. But overall, beautiful. It's a beautiful reading. I think you guys are going to have a beautiful week, and the Empress being your outcome is fantastic. You have beauty and abundance and comfort to look forward to.